All right, Coffee with Gaz here with Aaron Gordon. This is the million reasons why social media matters, right? And the ability to connect and how we're using it effectively. Flying in from New York, man, I appreciate you coming on. We connected through social, so it's good to meet you in person finally.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to actually finally be here and nice weather. So getting out of New York in February is worth it.
Well, thanks for bringing the nice weather. Really appreciate that.
I don't mind you that.
Yeah, remind me every day, right? No, but it's cool, man. Going back to it, and this is why I think this is so important, and this is pretty cool for me. We've connected, we've done business together, we've collaborated on different things, and it's all started through something in this nature, right? Through social. And man, I feel like I get, pretty pumped up, motivated, or angry. I don't know. It's like multiple feelings of why people still aren't using this in the right manner, correct? Like social to connect.
I think that if people are not out there at least showing their personality a little bit, right? I think part of what connected us is that both of us, obviously me on a smaller scale, but I look up to what you guys are doing, but it's like, we're not doing just like stiff, here I am sitting in a boardroom doing things like that. And so you feel like, especially when you're talking about collaborating in an industry, like who do I feel like I can work with? And it's a weird thing because like you would think that the people who are the stiff, formal type, not that you're not formal, but you know what I mean? Like,
don't be fooled by that type.
Right. Those would be the people who you would say like, I trust that. But what I actually trust more as a business owner, as a partner is when you feel like you could see the real side of someone and then you could still trust that, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I like this firm, I like what these people are about, I like what I was able to say, hey, let's try to do something, and then, building trust and building, but even before that, right, we were really just like chatting about life and business and
life,
like
talking shop. But, going back to it, I just think the key is always going to be the video format. Like pictures, and I look at it and I get it. Pictures could be doctored, edited. It's so procured, and I understand why people do it. But that extra step of getting uncomfortable and the authenticity that comes from doing a video, right? Which you do a lot of it, man. I see you walking around. You're walking around New York.
I haven't
just
gotten into an accident yet.
Not yet, right? That's
Wait for that
you
one.
must have
Bloopers.
bumped into somebody.
Yeah, bloopers. People bump into me. I don't bump into them.
the fast pace. I mean, that alone, and you getting uncomfortable, it's where I think that initial connection starts. I'm trying to get better at it. It's something. This is part of our. This is a vertical for our business, and we really believe in it. And you invested a lot. You did it on your own.
Doing it on my own. A lot of time, a lot of effort, but being uncomfortable. You know what the thing is? I think people get caught up in it being perfect. And if you think about the things that you like to see most on social, getting back to the personality, obviously you don't want someone who's like tripping over themselves in the videos. You can't hear, it's not legible, or we do a lot of captions or things like that. But like, you want that real connection. And we saw that especially through the pandemic, the power of video, right? How much business did we get done over video that we never thought we could get out of in person, but we had to.
Yep.
But how much of that never would have worked if it was over the phone? Even the phone, right? Like the fact that we could Zoom and the like took off, that made people, I think, more comfortable with the idea of video, which means that if you're not doing video, people are like, what's that guy hiding?
What's that guy hiding?
What's hiding? Why can't I get at least that step towards in-person, step towards authenticity?
It's almost like you're hiding something if you're not on video. And it's funny how, obviously COVID, it's COVID. There are some good things that have come out of it, right?
But like, how many times have you gotten on a call and it's like, you're on a Zoom call and there's 10 people, 9 of them have their video on. Like everybody's thinking, is that guy on the golf course? Like, is that lady not taking it seriously? And again, obviously with this, people got okay with, okay, your kid comes in the room, your dog comes in the room. That's totally fine. But if you're 100%. If you're that person who's never open about it, something's got to be up, right? So,
well, and let me ask you, because it's been about 12 months, right, that you've really getting a lot more on the video side of it. I mean, how'd that start? Like, where was that kind of like switch in terms of really? I mean, we're all on social media, but making it part of your integrated in your business.
I felt like if I was going to take the risk and do the social thing, I wanted to do it in what I thought, in the way that I connected the most. So thought about doing blogs, more blog posts. I felt like people weren't going to spend the time reading them, and you could always convert video to that. And we started with pictures, and I just wasn't seeing the traction. And I said, we all know, to myself, like, the reason why it's not working is not because, or why you're not seeing, even though it's a really long game, is because you're not doing what you like. You're kind of hiding a little bit. You're doing it the easy way.
The self-awareness.
And if you're going to do this, get uncomfortable. And I got to be honest, my parents thought it was weird. My siblings thought it was weird. My wife certainly thought it was weird. My kids can't figure out who I'm talking to because I tell them it's weird to talk to yourself, and yet they see me talking to myself. My neighbor's kid thinks it's great. Like I was telling you, I did this video on the roof of my garage about fall leaf clearing. And like all of my neighbors were there's a bunch of kids on the block. They were all standing there staring at me, and like I was asking them to be quiet, but like why do they have to be quiet? They're playing outside in their backyard, and who are you sitting there on your roof with 2 cameras like a jerk, But it was, you know what? I think that also for me, what legacy are we leaving? Like we have such an opportunity for people to see what we did and see what we do, and for our kids and for our grandkids, even if they don't come into this business. And like it can't be bad content. Someone gave me an idea for a piece of content that I'm hoping to do with my dad, which is like the way it was always done, and the way it is done. Kind of like funny stories about how my dad used to hustle papers, and like now I can get someone from their bathtub to e-sign something. You know what I mean?
I mean, and that's where like the evolution, those stories you have to document them. They're going to go away. I mean, we talk about it now, like generational stuff, the stories your dad, your grandfather, things they've done. Like, how do you kind of pass that to your kids?
And it's so easy, right? I mean, it's how many people, 99% of the stuff you can do on your phone. Like, it's great to have technology, things like that. And obviously we're investing in it because we want it to be better. But like, how easy it just to like, even for $100, like just get a microphone, get a selfie stick,
And I'm generally interested in people. And I think people also underestimate to themselves that everybody is interesting. Like what I'm going to say, like everyone, the individuality of it makes you interesting, right? Like that's where people don't give themselves enough credit. And sometimes they get shy. They look back. What am I going to say? Like none of us are perfect. And if anybody's trying to be perfect, that's not going to work out.
I think also like a lot of people are talking about what's the next step. There was this thing called the phone, then the fax, and the thing. And social media is going to have to evolve because everything evolves. But for me, from a business sense, I really feel that what may disappear in social media, which people think is cute, which is just a different form of entertainment, is that like those funny videos that make it their way, or like the person screaming on the airplane. That will probably go away because people are just going to get tired of that. But business content, I mean, think about how people have been consuming content for years. I posted a couple videos, and then a journalist from the Wall Street Journal called me. I'm no great genius. And like, then the funny part was I went back to my dad, and he was like all proud. And I said, this was some social, right?
Right.
Like you've been doing this for 50 years. You're much smarter than me. You have much more experience. And no one from, not in a bad way, but like, right, no one from the Wall Street Journal called you. And you look at that as legit. So they obviously think that social media as a, resume is legit enough that they're willing to put that in their paper.
It's the power of social. And then again, people understanding, back to getting uncomfortable and having that forethought or the foresight of, hey, what can I do that's different than other people? I ask myself all the time, man, I have agents. We talked about, you've met a couple of them. I get on them. Why aren't they taking advantage of this platform? They still haven't figured out that getting uncomfortable, which is the key to success in any business, right? Is this. Like most people aren't doing it.
I think people also are just like so worried of things that could go south when like, if you don't do anything crazy and you stay away from most politics, which just because unfortunately now politics are just so polarizing in the US, like what's the worst thing that can happen when you post a video? Like nobody's gonna say Aaron Gordon's a bad person because he tried to give a business tip and I thought it was silly. So then just mute me. Don't watch me anymore.
Right. And is that person going to be your client?
That's what,
let's find out now.
Or is that person going to be your partner, right? If they don't like what I'm doing,
they don't respect it. Yeah.
They're not going to be a good partner for me. Not that all the people that I work with have to like that, but if that's a turnoff to you, like me, I'm clearly putting myself out there. Imagine, by the way, what I'm willing to do. If I'm willing to get this uncomfortable, imagine what I'm willing to do for you in your scenario, right? I'm willing to take a video of me. Imagine me standing in your basement when you have a flood, calling your insurance company and saying, here I am with this camera and you're going to solve this problem because I'm standing for the water.
I love that. That's a great point. And that goes down to holding yourself accountable. Like this is the accountability machine here for us, right? You're going to go out there and say that, then you got to do it too, right? That's why I kind of love the authenticity turns into accountability. Then, really it is to the connectivity. It's just like this evolution of why this thing matters.
It's actually interesting that you said that about the accountability. So I had a thing yesterday, a lady emailed me early in the morning that she slid in New York. We have this thing called ice. when it gets cold, the roads.
You don't put it in the cup to drink water?
It's similar to what you put in the cup, but it can be like, your car can slip on it. And so it's kind of like sand, but different. You get stuck in it. So she skid on the ice and she hit a tree. And so it was like 8:30 in the morning. And my initial reaction was, I'm just going to email her back. Because she emailed me saying, hey, I'm not sure what the damage is. I'm going to let you know. Thank God everything's okay. And I had remembered, right, it was President's Day, 8:30 in the morning. I remembered that one of the things that I put on social media was that I think that the claim process is the number one process in our agencies that can never be automated. You can automate how you service claims, but that initial call when someone has a tragedy, when someone gets into a car accident with their kid in the backseat of the car, if they're your client, it's literally a 2-minute call that everyone can make. And I was like, hold on. If I email her back right now and don't just pick up the phone and call, what am I doing? So I picked up the phone and she's like, I can't believe you're calling me, whatever. But it was under 90 seconds was the call.
Right.
But that was like, what happens if this person has a bad day or whatever and comments, not Aaron didn't respond the way I wanted, which people always do, but like, I was thinking, which will never happen, but like she sends me this video, like, hey, thanks for the email, but you said you always call people. So, something you got to do.
Yeah, it's
not fear. It's just,
it's just keeping you in check.
It forces you to be authentic.
I mean, obviously, most people have great ideas. Most people have anything. Most people think about things, they write it down, but vocalizing it is that next level of accountability, right? You're telling it to yourself, tell it to the world. I'm going to do this tomorrow. You're going to have to do it. You can't
what's
hide.
Interesting is when I signed on to work with we work with an outside company that does some of our marketing, and the deal that we made, or that they asked me to make, was it's a 1-year unofficial contract, and the only thing that you can't cancel for is when you say you're not going to see results. We want a year of commitment for you doing this and that, and then we can discuss results. If personalities don't work, if you're not happy with the work product, you can cancel anytime. But you're committing to us to deliver X, Y, and Z for a year. Obviously, things can get in the way, things can happen, and we're not going to discuss results per se, unless hopefully we go viral, right? And then we can talk. But like, you're not going to say, I'm not seeing X, Y, and Z followers or responses, because it takes time. And I think people lose that also, right?
Right. No, and then that's another thing. Let's get back into the insurance or any business, right? People want, like, it's got to be long term. I mean, I always tell people, and let's just talk about insurance, like get into sales, starting an agency, a scratch agency, or taking over an agency. Like, you guys start doing things that are expensive, right? You might have to borrow some money, inconvenient. Your time now, it's about not you, it's about other people, and then get uncomfortable. Like, you got those are the things that are gonna like get you to the next level. Like, think about anything successful in the world. It's got to be one of those 3 things. Like, right?
And I think it's also, you have to do something. Like, if you're not doing social now, just tell me what else you're doing. And if you say that this is the way that you did it and you're going to go door to door, you're a better man than I am. Go for it. If you're willing to knock on doors, but you got to do it. But you got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can, if you're going to tell me that this is not what you're going to do, or you don't want to be held accountable in this way in your sales goals or developing your reputation, then what are you going to do? And just make sure you do that. You can't sit, like you were saying before, you can't sit and wait for the phone to ring. That's never going to be, but that doesn't mean you have to cold call. Right? If cold calling is not your thing,
God
reach out to every media person.
God
you know what I'm saying?
God bless you.
If it's your thing,
well, I mean, and then so strategies, right? What we're doing too, evolving, not just putting out content, but this is a way to procure business as well. I mean, what's the difference between a video procured to, let's say, nonprofits, and then DMing somebody on social through LinkedIn, through Twitter, through Instagram? This is who I am. I mean, if you're going to cold call, I'd argue with you, do it this way.
But I'm saying, if you say, like, I don't believe, so what are you doing that's different? And tell me why you're seeing success there. And most people, they'll be like, well, I don't know. I know that this is not going to work. You know what? The other thing is, social media is, for some people, they take it very seriously. Some people don't. And for the average person who doesn't, I don't think when you DM people or you reach out to them, because they look at it as this like unofficial thing, they don't get offended. And people ignore 90% of their DMs anyway.
Right.
But like, if you send 100 messages on LinkedIn every single day and one person responds, first of all, much easier than cold calling, much less nerve-wracking, right? You did it, I did it.
No, I did it.
It was terrible.
Shouldn't have done. I mean, hey, at least it was terrible. It was
I'm
terrible.
a personable person, and it was horrible.
I think I lost my hair because I used to cold call.
That's what it was? That's what it was?
That's what I'm telling people.
Yeah. But it was like, but so for me, it's, if I can reach out to do it this way, I can create, like, I can what I'll call warm call, right? If it's my neighbor's nephew,
you
right?
Need that little.
That's not a cold call.
No,
that's
you're right.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but cold DMing. But if you do enough of it, it's quicker, it's easier, and people, hey, check out this video. So they don't have to click on it if they don't want to.
You know, what's interesting too, to kind of want to touch on one last point as well, is like collaboration, right? So collaborating within our industry. I've seen it too. We do have a mutual connection besides insurance. Let's pretend we were realtors or whatever, or we were engineers. The fact that we're still connecting via social, yes, we connect as human beings, but then we have this kind of common industry that most people aren't doing it. You've seen kind of this engagement within our industry, right? As far as a collaboration standpoint goes.
Taking the business that we've been able to do aside, which is great for me, right? I mean, we had a problem. We had a solution that we thought, which was to solve getting better into the Florida market. I realized that I didn't have the expertise or the markets that I needed. Reached out to you and we solved that. But in any industry, it can be like that. And in the end of the day, I've met people in the industry. People think that I was at a conference and a lady came over to me. She said, like, you're my hero for everything you do on social. And I said, I literally do nothing. But the ability to help people, and hey, I now met agents from Kentucky, from all these places that if I do have something and they call me about New York business, and if you're open to it and you're open to collaborating, everybody wins. And right. I think that the other thing that social will bring to the front are the people, like clients will see in any industry, the agents that are not willing to go out on social and collaborate with other people, right? When we post something together, people know like, hey, you know a guy from New York, I know a guy from Florida, we can both work in both places, but like I have my expertise, you have your expertise. That means that if one of my clients reaches out to me, I can say, hey, listen, I know the expert in X, and here's the video we did, they know that. So in any industry, real estate, you have a client that's buying something in X market. Well, they'll get the most trust if you can say, hey, just so you know, I'm collaborating with this local real estate agent to find you that ranch in New Mexico. Because I could fly out there, but I'd rather get you the best product and the best service. And by the way, here's how far I'm willing to go. I'm willing to give up revenue. I'm willing to give up time. Hell, I'm willing to fly for a day just to work for you. And that's in any industry.
Yeah, and then thinking about that, clients, whether they realize it or not, those who collaborate are willing to be the problem solvers, right? It's not about you. The ego goes away. It's about them. It's about you trying to help you.
I mean, not to get too much into insurance, but I literally have a real estate agent in Boca who sends me business almost weekly. And she just figured out last week that I wasn't in Florida because we're collaborating on that kind of business. It's working through Florida. And she was like, I mean, in the age of cell phones, area codes mean nothing on cell phones, but she was like, I want to meet you. Like, don't you live down here? I'm like, actually, I'm flying down next week, but I live in New York. And she was like shocked by that, but collaboration. And then you can, expand your expertise or, delegate that to the experts, which people have been doing forever. Now it's just more public.
The legend of Aaron Gordon, AG, man. And not the basketball player, the insurance agent.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, one day, by the way, social's going to bring me and him together too.
That'd be nice. We'll do a little, maybe
do a little AG thing.
We'll slide on this on LinkedIn or on Twitter. Like, dude, really? Can we do a little AG competition? Exactly. You got better shoes, dude. You got better swag.
Thanks, but he's got better hair.
He's probably like 6'10" also. Yeah, his shoulders. But I appreciate you doing this, man. Coming down. We'll spend the day, talk shop. I'm glad we met. I'm glad I did this, and I'm doing this for this specific reason, to be able to connect with you, not today, and grow together, man. We're both young guys, and just to see you continue to flourish, it's super exciting to be a part of.
Just gotta keep hustling, right?
Keep hustling. You own that hashtag.
I wish I owned it, but I'm trying it.
Who's taking that from you?
I don't know. Very few people are using it, but it's on my shoes, so that means I own it.
No, it's on your shoes, and that's your Twitter line too.
That's it. We try it.
I have my stamp of approval. I will fight anybody who says it more than you do.
You heard it here.
You heard it here. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, brother.